I never wore green. I'm going to say it. I've never.
Are we live yet?
It is now, but what color am I wearing?
Hey, let's turn down the music.
Well, what color am I wearing? Do you know?
Greenish?
I don't know.
Teal?
Tuesday greens.
There you go.
Ralph Sheheen's our guest today, but it's about me sometimes. It's going to be about me for a minute. but
Sometimes.
I just had to say, Ralph, thanks for coming in today and being a part of our show. And first, I want to ask Brent what you do this weekend. Anything good?
What did I do?
Nothing again?
Mowed the farm. Worked on the golf cart a little bit more. We got a big film thing with our new golf cart tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
You didn't even come over to my house.
Not this weekend, no. We were busy.
Friday
Yeah.
went to the
Friday.
club.
Yeah, we went to the club, had lunch.
Yeah, we did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My good story is the Denny Bros thing, if you know what's going on. I think it's funny. I forgot to show Ralph the restart, but Denny's blaming on the Denny Bros thing.
Yeah, I saw some of the betting going on in between him and Reddick's guys.
Well, they had a bet that they could put Travis or Denny's Bros, which is me and Jared and Scotty, and there's about 7 of us that are on the 7 of us on the
Little chat.
And so I guess Rambo, you said you know
Yeah.
Rambo. He's a car chief from
Yeah.
Tyler, and they have a bet that if he wins, they would put Denny Bros in the car, and then, bottom line is if Denny beat him, and I'm like, well, Denny was 2-1 favorite, he should beat him, but
Right.
it's kind of, they were bantering back and forth, but they won, and now he's got to have the sticker on the car in Nashville. And so when Denny was asked, why'd you miss the restart, he said, well, I was thinking about that bet I had with Tyler Reddick. So,
Wanted to get the jump.
Did you see the jump?
Oh, yeah. He wasn't even close.
Hey, I don't even know what he was thinking about. It's like he was driving,
He said he wasn't thinking. I think it was his answer.
the line was here, and then he just
Went.
He just went. He's just like you driving off in the sunset. He probably thought I was in the back of the car and he wanted to take me for a pit, like one of the pit guy. Or what's that guy called the front? The driver,
The driver.
No, the guy in front of you. He probably thought he was that
the
guy.
pace car?
The pace car.
Right.
He probably thought it was the pace car for a minute.
It could be.
But he ended up coming back and won. What a great race. They called me like Kush. Did you see some of those videos?
Yes.
Kush is crazy. He wore a Connors Village Red Bull driver suit. This guy, I'm going to show you, 5 foot
Where
tall.
did he get this from, by the way?
I don't know. He's like 5 foot. I mean, the guy's great. He's the funniest guy I know. But he wore that driver's suit.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
A lot of entertainment happened. Alex dropping the trophy. Trophy broke.
Yeah, the basketball.
The hoop
trophy
group
was,
trophy
We've
broke.
seen that a few times, right?
Yeah.
and
Trophies
then-
break.
And then, but I didn't go. But they called me like at 1:30 a.m. And then we were celebrating. It was pretty good. We always play a Frank Sinatra song, and then we play "All We Do Is Win," and it was good to see him win.
Number 62?
Number 62.
Nice.
And counting.
And counting. Yeah.
Kind of, Ralph, you grew up with, you've been doing racing a long time, and we met at Red Rocks
The voice of racing.
20 years ago. Were you married when I met you?
No. I'm married 24 years, and we met 20 years ago.
And you've never been on my couch, right?
No, I have never been on your couch.
We had a couch story earlier.
But, yeah.
I would go on my
No,
couch.
actually, I think I was married when we met. Kimberly and I were married.
No, it's funny. We opened it. No, I don't know. We opened, just so you know.
Hey, first of all, thank you
2003.
so much for my Table Talk tumbler.
Oh, you're welcome.
And thanks for putting me on the menu. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not on the menu.
Oh, you're off again?
I'm not on the menu.
Again, you're supposed to be on the menu, on and off.
I just had to bring that up.
Well, now you'll be back on
Okay.
because you're doing the podcast. So we were talking, how many people come in, whether it's Kyle Busch, which we recently, Greg Biffle, which we lost, Jason Lester, which we lost, Randy Dorton. We can go down the list. And then we
Too
have-
long of a list.
Yeah, too long of a list. But then we have Ralph, who I didn't really know who he was in the motorcycle series, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit what you're doing now and where you're at and all that stuff?
So I have been on national TV calling racing for 38 years now,
Jeez.
which I can't believe. I mean, when you get into this business, I literally didn't think I'd get a year out of it because it's that volatile of a career path, right? But here I am 38 years later, still doing it on national TV and loving every minute of it. It's an absolute dream job. I have called literally everything from swamp buggies in Naples, Florida, to Formula One through the streets of Monaco.
Wow, you did that?
Yeah, I've done that.
Oh my gosh, where'd you stay at in Monaco? That's my only thing I want to do in my life.
I didn't do it from Monaco.
Oh, you didn't?
No, and that was
Studio?
I did it from. We did it live on CBS.
Just tell us you're in the yacht. Don't have to lie.
No,
You can lie.
I wish I could tell you that. We were live. We did it live. We did it live on big CBS, and we did it from the CBS studios in New York City in Manhattan, where
Wow.
they do the NFL and everything else. And the reasoning for it was, and it was fair at the time, and I was so bummed because I'd been doing a lot of work for CBS at that time, doing NASCAR and everything else. And CBS always did everything first class, first rate. And I thought, man, they called me up and they said, hey, we got a package of, I forgot what it was, 4 or half dozen F1 races they were going to do that year. They said, we got Canada and Monaco and Germany and Italy and a couple of others. I said, do you want to do this? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm thinking, man, we're going to just travel first class, great hotels, great, this is going to be amazing, you know? And they go, we're just going to do it from the studios in New York. I was like, oh, man, why?
You're like, boo.
Yeah. And they said, well, if we go to the races, because there's such a huge international grouping of other broadcasters, we'll just be in a small little office trailer somewhere deep in the paddock. And if something goes wrong, if a monitor breaks, we won't have anything there to fix it with. If we do it from our studios in New York, if a 100-inch monitor goes down, we've got 100 of them down the hall. And I went, can't really argue with that. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world.
I would say I will buy 3 TVs.
Yeah, I do it off
And
my
bring it
phone,
with me.
right? But I mean, I understood what they were saying. But there was 2 stories that came out of that were crazy. One, when we were doing the Canadian Grand Prix, I had Derek Daly as my color commentator, former F1 driver, former IndyCar driver, Connor Daly's dad, and Derek. We get into this one section. Derek would get so fired up for the races. He'd be up on the table, just inches away from the monitor, just leaning into it. And we come back and I said, welcome back to the Canadian Grand Prix here live on CBS. And Derek starts talking, oh, and there goes so-and-so. And the very next thing I said in that segment was, we'll be right back for more of the Canadian Grand Prix after this. And I looked at Derek and I went, do you realize you talked the entire segment, which would have been about 6 minutes straight? He goes, I did not. And the producer goes, oh, yeah, you did. The whole segment. He was just that into it. He got totally lost into the broadcast.
Well, I didn't know this till I have Travis who does the podcast with Dale Jr. and that how he'll do a race on Denny's Bros and they'll
Right.
teach me that how certain broadcasters talk over other people.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, like, how do you do that how do you know when to talk and not to talk?
Well, you have to have chemistry. And that's one of the things you talk about, the Supercross that I did for 15 years. I did all the AMA Monster Energy Supercross series here in the U.S. And Jeff Emig and I, Jeff was my color commentator. Jeff was the 97 Supercross champ. We had tremendous chemistry. And you can't make that happen. It just does or it doesn't. It's hard to describe, but you just feel it. It's no different than becoming friends with somebody. There's some guys that you're just good buddies with, and there's other guys that you just connect with on a different level, and you can almost answer each other's sentences and questions without even knowing what they're going to say. Jeff and I were like that. So we got to a point, it doesn't happen overnight. In fact, we were talking about this the other day.
Not Jeff Hammond, right?
No. We were talking about this the other day in that it took a year or two for Jeff to realize the flow and understand what I was trying to do as a play-by-play guy. As a play-by-play guy, you're leading the direction of the show. And I'm the who, the what, the when, and the where. The color guy is the how and the why. In other words, I'm telling you, hey, it's car number 11, Denny Hamlin, leading on lap 25 here at Nashville, and he just passed, Tyler Reddick for the lead. And then it's Jeff's job as the color guy to go the how and the why. Well, he did that because coming off of turn number 2, he got a great draft off of so-and-so and was able to get the run down the back straightaway. That type of situation. And there's a flow to setting that up with what's happening on the screen, what I need to do for the producer who's talking to me in my head, and getting Jeff involved in that conversation or whoever the color guy might be. And there's been some guys that just never develops with. It's just never going to happen. And then there's other guys where it just magically appears. And out of 38 years of doing this, there's only 2 times when I would tell you it was at that level. One was Jeff, and the other was Brad Doty on the World of Outlaws sprint cars.
You know, I think it's one thing I've learned in just doing this podcast is how not, because I think if you have an A personality or B personality, it's different, right? Where, you know, I've always been in control kind of in a way. So
This is Ron's show, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just here to press buttons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm starting to listen more than I used to. Don't you think, right? I mean, I've gotten a little better at it.
You let me talk sometimes.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Yeah. Well, you're married. I'm not, so it's why.
You have couch stories. I'm not allowed to talk about them.
Yeah, the couch stories are good. I see Charlie joined in.
Oh, boy.
One of the Denny's bros that was
Yeah.
on the car. I wanted to put all of our faces on Tyler Reddick's car. It was up to me. I'd have Scotty and
Hey,
Jared and me and
You still
Charlie.
got time.
I mean, just put all of our faces on there so they know who we are. You know what I mean?
Way better.
But that was back in the day.
Yeah.
I like the faces idea.
Huh?
Yeah.
I like the faces idea.
Yeah, I remember I did that on David Stremmy's car, and I did it on, Boston Reed. I don't know. Remember Boston Reed?
Oh, God, yeah.
He
See
did that
Boston.
truck.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about that guy, I get laughed. I don't think he had a lot of money, but he always had a good, I'd just say a good girl next to him.
Yeah.
And she has definitely been on a lot of couches. So, but he never let our sponsorship off for like 6 races. And I would just give him free food every
He's like,
time.
I don't want to pay to rewrap the car.
And
We're just gonna leave
yeah,
Ron's
and
face on the side of it.
Yeah, the face is in my, I mean, not the face. It's upstairs. Boston's truck.
Yeah.
But Boston drove me around and then David Stremme and Hermie Sadler. Hermie drove my car in Dover. So did you ever see my face on the car? Have you ever
Oh, yeah.
were you announcing that or not? Just say yeah if you
well,
want.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Dover used to be a TNN race. So I would have had it there. Yeah, probably.
But Hermie did that when it was just 3 people, him and this little kid, and they qualified 15. That's when I first met Denny.
Right.
Like I really got to know him, and that's when I met the girl at Lowe's. In the refrigerator, I met her in the refrigerator department.
Not the furniture department on the couch.
No, I met her literally in the refrigerator. I said, "Man, this girl is hot. I think I need to buy a refrigerator." So,
She was a good
but
salesperson.
that Dover, he had 3 people, and then Denny and them had like 15 people, and then Hermie qualified 15, and ended up getting in a race. But it was back when you had to get in, driving to get in. But when did you
Yeah.
start? So NASCAR you did first, is that correct?
No.
No.
So
Oh, okay.
first thing I ever did when I was in college, I started PA announcing at what is now Sonoma Raceway, but back then it was Sears Point. And I was walking down my dorm floor, and I knew this is what I wanted to do. And this guy had his door open, and on the walls were all these motorcycle road racing posters. I kind of stuck my head in, and I said, "Hey, Tom, what's with all the motorcycle road racing posters?" He goes, I race motorcycles on the weekend down at Sears Point.
Got some food we're going to put in front of you.
He goes, really? He goes, well, why do you care about that? Oh, look at that.
Calamari, tuna
Calamari. I like it.
nachos.
You got
Sorry.
Renee in here.
Yeah.
Things are looking up.
Yeah. That's your menu item, by the way.
All right, thank
The
The calamari?
actually,
know.
actually, the calamari's mine.
There you go. I'm on the Tumblr.
So you were in college then? You were in college when you were doing this?
So I was in college when I started doing this, and thank you, dear.
What is that there?
And
I don't know, but I'm drinking it. Don't.
Our feature, it is our
Okay.
Woodford Reserves, the
wow.
vanilla Woodford bourbon.
You had me at
And
alcohol.
Well, that helps get her on the couch, too. You give her a few of them.
Hey, now.
Hey, you come on
Thank you,
over,
sir.
baby. Hey, have a few of those.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about
I've known Miss Renee for.
I know
I've
we
known
talk
Miss Renee longer than I've known either one of you two.
We don't wanna talk
she's
about
a
the-
great lady.
couch story too much, but I think it's funny when they're trying to get me drunk, too. I mean, that's a good thing. I've never drank.
when they're trying to get you drunk,
Well, I haven't drank a vodka Lonnie ever in my whole life. I drank 3 of those. I can
Right.
tell you that. It was hard to get off the couch. But back to you.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you're
So I go
seriously.
down and I start announcing these motorcycle races, and that kind of gets it going, right? So while I'm working at Sonoma doing stuff for them, NASCAR comes to Northern California for the first time. I was doing some PR work for the track as well as announcing, and Rusty Wallace was what they called the Victory Circle driver. Renee probably remembers those. They would send them out in advance to do advance work to help promote upcoming races. And they said, hey, pick up Rusty and his manager at the airport, take him around Northern California, set up a bunch of interviews, and get some media out of it. So I do that. Everything goes great. I ended up announcing that weekend for MRN Radio. So the first time NASCAR's in Northern California, I ended up landing my first gig on MRN. Started working that race for them. By the time the weekend was over, Rusty's business manager asked me if I would move to Charlotte and come to work for them. That was a company called On Track Performance. It was Benny Ertel, Renee remembers Benny, and Rich Rubenstein, the two owners of On Track. They had, listen to this client lineup, they had Rusty, Mark Martin, Kenny Schrader, Harry Gant, Davey Allison, Dale Earnhardt Sr. That was their client.
About what year was this, you think?
I moved here in January of 1990.
Okay.
So the race was in 89, summer of 89, and then I moved here in January 1990. So they put me to work with Big E, with Davey and Schrader and all these guys running around doing all these different things. And I told them, I said, look, I still want to do, the TV thing if I can make that happen. They were like, yeah, as long as it doesn't conflict, happy to let you go and do it. So that's what got me back here and started me off in the NASCAR world was one race at Sonoma.
Well, that's what we just talked about, how I sat in the Toyota suite up on top of the hill
Yeah.
and watched the race. It's hard to watch a race.
Yeah. No, turn 2 is the best place to watch at that track.
That's a good spot.
I mean, I went to Denny a lot. We wrecked a lot at the beginning. I mean, we lost the windshield. I say we. When Denny raced, I feel like we did it. Like anytime he wins, I did it.
So you've got 62 wins in NASCAR.
Oh, no doubt. I'm at least 30 of them. There's no. He wanted, actually, all.
He'd be nothing without you. Let's just get to the point.
I'll be honest with you.
Why is he even on the menu?
Well,
I
listen,
mean, really.
I can tell
What's
you
he done?
I can tell you what happened there. If you want a real story, he doesn't believe it. I know for a fact because I would only know.
Yeah.
He said him and two people wanted to be on the menu. They got on the menu, and they said the only way I'll be on the menu if I win a race. It was Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin. I'm not shitting you.
But then, no
and
doubt they were both going to get on there.
Ty Gibbs, Duke. Yeah, exactly. But that was when Ty was running Xfinity. But he on Bud Shootout, he won the race, and out of the window, he said, I could be on the Red Rocks menu. And I know he did it. I know because I was there. I saw it. And that's when Todd Braun,
Yeah.
you know Todd.
Yeah, sure.
Because Jason left her, and he took over Jason's car.
Yeah.
So,
Knew Jason very
but
well.
that he won his first. I've been around a long time when he lived next to Gibbs. So.
Yeah.
But it's been a good ride. I mean,
So you've
Denny-
been the inspiration for many, many people.
I'm the connector. You know what I mean? I'm the connector. I connect everybody with everybody, and then sometimes I lose. Problem is, sometimes the connection falls off for me, and they're so connected. Now, it might be my
They
personality.
end up at someone else's couch.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
always goes back to the couch.
No, I find out.
Everything goes back to the couch.
Yeah. My couch
That's what's
story.
most important, you know?
Yeah, let's get right to it.
The cloud couch. I'll take a picture. I'll send it to you.
So I got a story for you about when I first got back here working NASCAR. This was with Dale Earnhardt Sr. So all I had ever driven was a little sports car or a muscle car. Those are the only two types of cars I'd ever driven. So I moved back here in a little RX-7 sports car, right? And I'm zipping around. So these guys at On Track had this big Suburban. And they said, hey, take the Suburban tomorrow, go pick up Dale, get Harry Gant and Harry's PR guy, this kid named Todd. And you guys are going to go to the Statesville airport, get on Dale's plane, and you're going to fly to this autograph session. So, okay. Now, this is up in Mooresville. I'm living down in South Charlotte. I have no idea where I'm going. Not a clue. Hadn't been up around Mooresville at all, which was certainly not as developed as it is today, right? So I go get Dale and got Harry and got Todd, and we're going to the airport. And I'm on this back road, 2-lane deal going down through the woods. Double yellow line. Dale's in the passenger seat. I'm driving. Harry's right behind Dale. I can see him in the mirror, and Todd's behind me. Motoring along, and there's a big semi-truck, and I'm catching it fast. And we start up this hill. All of a sudden, I hear that engine go, whoa, like that in that Suburban. And big heavy truck like that, it gets louder before it gets faster, right? So I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I look down, there's this size 12 cowboy boot on top of my tennis shoe, and my tennis shoe is now flat to the floor. And I look over, and Dale's leg is spread across the transmission tunnel.
No shit.
and he's leaning back with those gargoyles on that he used to wear. And he's just looking at me like, okay, California, what are you going to do now? Nothing is said, but I know that's what's coming out of his head, right? He's just looking at me. And I glance in the mirror, and Harry's just laughing. I'm thinking, well, it's going to be one hell of a wreck, one way or the other, right? I'm going to make a headline if I kill two of NASCAR's greatest drivers at the time, right? So I thought, well, hell, I just got to go for it. So I just turned to the left, get over the double yellow line, just get around that truck, turn it to the right, pull it back in as a car comes by me the other way. And I look over at Dale. I don't say anything. I just look at him, and he just takes his foot casually off my shoe, pulls his leg back over the transmission tunnel, and I'm telling you, to the day he died, we never talked about that moment.
Wow.
Never came up once.
Wow. How old was Dale then? Oh,
Well, that would have been 1990.
wow.
So, but that, that's how he was. He always liked to test you, and if you passed the test, then you were okay.
They had to
When you-
break you in since you were new.
yeah. And I mean, he constantly would do that to you. There was numerous times he would test me at the racetrack, and if you passed and you get a good interview out of him, or you get him when you needed him, that sort of thing. If you didn't pass, then you're on the blacklist.
So did you see the release of the photos of what they're looking at doing out at the Mooresville drag race?
I did, yeah.
That's going to be incredible.
Yeah, we'll see if it actually comes to fruition, right? I hope it does. I mean, 50 million's a big number.
Yeah.
I'm sure
So at the drag strip out in Mooresville, which I'm a little not sure if I totally like it, because we just bought some property literally a mile or two from there.
it's going to get noisy.
Which it already is on Sundays, but not bad. We're far enough away. It's like you really have to listen for it to hear it. But yeah, out at the drag strip, they want to put a road course, some car condos.
This would be a country club. Turn it into a motorsports country club.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be amazing. So far I'm for
Where
it.
is this? Like, if you get off X36 and make a right, left?
You would turn right. You would go down. Was it 150
to 152, and then you turn right.
Yes.
Like you used to go to Dale's place, or does he still live there?
No, Dale was out on 3.
Dale Jr.
Oh, juniors.
It's actually in between there. So it is probably only about 2 miles away from some of Teresa's property, and then not too far actually from Dale's too. Probably
Dale,
within-
every
within a
Tuesday
mile
night
or two.
we competed parties. Danny didn't have a party in Dalewood.
Yeah.
And I knew this girl, Christy Hodge. I forget
She
her.
liked the couch as well.
She was nice. She was nice. But we would go to Dale's house and we'd have late night drinks there.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was near that.
Yes.
Would that be was that originally Dale's seniors or was that Dale juniors? I don't know.
You're talking about the one across the street from the shop?
I don't know
The one
because
across the
I've
street
only been
from
there
the
at 3
shop.
in the morning 3 times probably.
Yeah.
The one across the street from the shop is on Highway 3, which is
Okay.
not where this is.
Okay.
But 3 actually isn't that far.
No,
Because we're on.
but where
yeah.
the shop was is
So
further.
you're going to be able to hear the
Yeah.
cars.
Oh, I can hear the cars now.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's
I'll
funny,
be able to hear it.
You know, what's funny is, and I don't know, I live on the golf course peninsula, so if you get a person that stays on the couch, then this couch story is great. But if you get you can hear the lawnmowers coming by, like in the morning at 6 a.m. or 6:30.
on the golf course.
Because I live on number
think
1.
the race cars might be louder than a lawnmower.
Yeah, but the one girl says she gets all mad because she's like,
Can't sleep in.
Can't. I'm like, I never hear it. I put the sound machine on. You know, I mean, like I don't know what you're listening to. Bottom line is, so I'm thinking about your race car stories.
Right?
First world couch
Yeah.
problems.
But we talked about
Damn lawnmowers.
we had talked
Living
to-
on the golf course.
we had talked about
Lawnmowers have ruined
originally
many a relationship over the years.
your best Cal Busch story. We had talked about like right with Humpy Wheeler. You talked about
With
that.
Humpy, yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So you had asked me what my best story was with Kyle, and I always thought about this one time. Kyle was probably, maybe 15 years old. Just moved back here. Kurt was having some success and becoming a name pretty quick. So Kyle was next in line, and he was back here racing Legends cars and doing all that kind of stuff that you do at the very beginning of your career. And I went to the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I went up to Humpy Wheeler's suite, sitting there hanging out with Humpy, and Kyle is sitting on the other side of Humpy. And we just start talking, and Humpy says, "Have you met Kyle yet?" And I hadn't met him yet, so we get introduced, and we start chatting. And Kyle ends up leaving, and Humpy leans over and he says to me, he's going to be the next great one. And
Sorry.
you know how to operate a couch, you just don't know how to operate your phone.
Keep going. I was trying to do something.
Welcome to the high class,
Keep going.
very technical.
Yeah, I was trying to get a story
Podcast.
about you being on. So I was trying to give you some press.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You need it.
I do. I do. You need all the press you can get.
Yeah. You've been doing it for 30 years longer than I have, so I wouldn't get caught right there.
Make sure you spell my name right.
Hey, by the way, in the middle of the story, I cut you off too. It's great, right?
Yeah, actually, spelling name right. My name was spelled wrong
Wouldn't be
on the
first
menu
time
for
I've
a
been
long
cut off in the
time.
middle of the story.
Go ahead.
But anyway, Humpy leaned over and he goes, hey, I'm telling you, this kid's going to be one of the all-time greats. And Humpy was one who never said that on just about anybody. If he said it, you always took note of it because Humpy was a great judge of talent, and he was certainly spot on about Kyle.
But I always thought you started NASCAR, but you said something earlier about your new career, like the NHRA or something. What were you talking
IHRA?
about? IHRA. What
So,
is that?
You know, that's the International Hot Rod Association. And I pretty much have done, over the years, Ron, there isn't a sanctioning body or a type of motorsport I haven't done. The reason why the NASCAR stuff took a little while to get going is because, as Brent knows, because we grew up in the same town, Sacramento.
Not much happens there.
Well, there wasn't a lot of NASCAR there.
No.
NASCAR was, far east of us. When we were younger, the only place NASCAR came was Riverside, California, back in the 70s. So that went away, and there was no NASCAR at Sonoma till 89. Now it's, all over the place out there. But back then it wasn't. So it wasn't that I wasn't interested in NASCAR, it's just those opportunities weren't there. Northern California was about motorcycle racing, whether it was dirt or road racing, drag racing, and sprint cars. So
Yeah,
those were
way more history on the two-wheel in Northern California compared to...
So those were the areas that were quickest and easiest for me to get a foothold in, to get the career started. And then once I moved back here, then the NASCAR stuff took off. And I did NASCAR for a significant chunk of my career. Probably 30 of the 38 years I've been involved in NASCAR in one form or another. Working for TNN, CBS, TBS, TNT, Turner. I was Speed Channel, Fox, NBC.
Did you ever meet Ted Turner?
Never met Ted Turner.
I met Ted Turner. He told me I could wear a sweatsuit anytime I wanted to. Ted Turner used to come in the restaurant I ran, and he would come in, and I would always ask why he was in a sweatsuit. He said, I never forget
Ready
this.
for a jog.
The rest of my life, I'll never forget this.
Okay.
He said, Ron, when you're rich as I am, you can wear anything you want. And at that time, he was a billionaire, I think. It wasn't like he was like nowadays Elon Musk, but I'll never forget him saying that to me. Like, he told me that. He goes, I go in meetings all the time. He goes, so you made it. So now that's why I wear a sweatsuit. I just don't have money. But either way.
Making a statement.
We get on the
Yep.
couch, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Hey, Brent, your calamari's pretty good.
what was
Thank
the
you.
what
Thank
was
you.
the best? Like out of all those TV stations, what was the best one you ever worked for? Is there
Fox.
any? Fox.
Fox was the best
Pete.
as far as the vibe within the network, the family atmosphere, the support from the network, the loyalty from the network to you. Because one thing as a broadcaster, there's no loyalty. Chew you up, spit you out as quick as they can. CBS would be number 2, and then the rest would be.
What about Artie Kepner? He used to run.
Yeah, I
that?
know Artie,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah, he
at
used
Fox.
to come in here. That's the old days at Red Rock. I think about Red Rocks when we met, a long time ago. You get to meet so many people, but the Fox people used to come in when we really did. You don't know, we had qualifying here back in the day. Jeff Gordon, Randy Dorton, they would come out to qualifying. They would out. It was crazy on Friday. Renee was coming with Diane Dorton. That's how I met her. But
Yeah.
through that. But on Friday nights, on pole night, that was a big night to go to. You went.
Pole night was huge around
Yeah,
here.
you would go to pole night. And I'll never forget the first time I knew NASCAR when I sat in a suite. I really didn't know. Billy Grooms from WSOC, and we had to pick a car out of the hat. Like you put up,
Yeah.
you win the door prize, whatever it was, right? And so I had like Kenny Schrader or something. I had the worst car, but I followed that damn car the whole time. I didn't know racing, and it taught me a lot. But that's how long. But that's where I miss NASCAR a lot. So you've seen it. I like how they grew, but sometimes I wish
I got
had
very
it.
lucky. To me, there's 2 very golden eras of NASCAR, if you will. The first one would be from the mid 70s to the mid 80s, that Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, Darrell Waltrip era, right there. The next key area, which was the one I was in, would have been from the very late 80s to Dale Sr.'s passing, basically. Right there, very early 2000. That era we had, Dale Sr., Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson. I mean, it was fantastic. We had Renee. I mean, everything was.
Now, Jimmy Johnson, that was before, like, Jimmy had all of his parties here, every championship he won. And his was the best story I had with him when he had it back then. I said, listen, you can stay as late as you want. I told John Helms they get in trouble.
Here's the keys.
I closed the blinds. That's when you close the blinds. I said, I'll call George Lauren, and we'll get him everything. We'll be all right. But AOE was a little harder back then. But was that, or Jimmy before that, he won the championships? Because you're talking about pre-championship.
Well, just having all those names in
Oh,
there.
okay.
You know what I mean? They were the best drivers. They were good guys. They were fun. Everybody was into it together. Everybody saw the growth of the sport and where it was headed, and everybody was working together and kind of pulling together to get the sport to grow. And Red Rocks is really the new version of the Sandwich Construction Company.
Yeah, no shit.
Did you ever go there?
Oh, yeah. I started to graduate in 1988.
Yeah. So the Sandwich Construction Company, when I first moved here, was
Wow.
where everybody went.
I know nothing on this.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It's a bar. It was like a pub bar.
It was a pub bar over by
like
the
Wall Trip would go there. Everybody would go
Everybody would go there because it was over by the Speedway, by the
Yeah.
university and
Yeah.
the hospital over there, and there was no other place to go. There was nothing over there. There was literally the Speedway, the college, and the hospital, and one hotel, and that was it.
I
in
took
that
a
whole
girl out on
area.
the couch one time from there, for sure.
Oh,
Or my waterbed.
if
I'm
you
not sure
did-
either one.
well, you went to the
One of them.
couch first and ended up in the waterbed, but that's another story.
But that's a lot.
Till the lawnmower came on.
Go
It's a
ahead.
lot more came. But the Sandwich Construction Company was, whether you went in there at lunchtime, dinner time, or late, every top driver was in there. I mean, you could walk in there at noon and Earnhardt be having lunch at one table, Rusty's at another. Their
That's
whole,
amazing.
whole crew would be there with them. I mean, it was something else. Sam and what was the other guy's name that owned it? Sam. And,
They were both Greek. I forget their last name,
oh
but yeah.
gosh, Sam and I can picture them.
I mean, I started the graduate on Independence, so I knew that we
Yeah.
would go over there. It was another bar where we had a dollar beer night,
Right.
Corona, and the drivers would come in. Walter would come in now and then, but
You remember the
But-
breakfast of champions that they would have over there on Friday morning of race week?
yeah, I remember. Yeah,
All that?
Yeah, that was Billy Grooms. Billy Groom ran WSOC.
I know Billy Groom.
Yeah, Billy ran
Yeah,
that.
you were Miss Winston back then,
Yeah.
weren't you? You were there for some of that, weren't you?
Australia.
That was right before you were Miss Winston.
Right before.
Yeah, but you
Once
might
she
have
got to
been
know
there for
me,
some
she
of
was Miss Winston. I
Yeah,
got
well.
the job.
it. Yeah, but
He's the connector.
yeah, and of course the guys from the Fox were always there. John Boy,
Yeah,
Billy.
I mean, John Boy and Billy. That's right. That
Remember?
was the other
They
one.
would do that.
Yeah,
We're having
was
like a
the-
little reunion over here.
Oh, that was a golden era. That really was.
that was back in I mean, it was so far.
That's
I don't
like
know.
91, 92,
I
93.
ever tell you anything, that's when you had a waterbed. I mean,
I was-
that's how, I mean, I don't know, no phone.
Right?
If you got a waterbed, no, there was no cloud couch like I had.
There was no phones, no
Yeah.
pictures, no none of that to talk about anything, anybody to do with the couch.
I lived in an apartment back then. That tells you anything.
I was still in high school and had a pager.
You had I had a pager. Hey, the pager. That's when we had pagers back then. Yeah.
That's when Jeff Gordon was in an apartment. I remember when Jeff moved down here, and he was in an apartment right over there in University area.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a he's done a great. My best success story I've seen out of anybody in NASCAR. Forget the drivers, Ray Abraham.
Oh, it's a great story.
Because when Ray built his business and then he built it up and he knew when to sell. I mean, he knew he sold it to that guy that owned. He owned the soccer team. He owned the hockey.
Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Canadians.
Elliott.
And then
Is his name George Elliott?
I don't know. He owned the beef company
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And then he sold at the top of his game. And Ray, made. Well, I think it was reported $50 million.
He was
But
one of
Ray-
the owners of the of Vail.
Yeah,
Ski
I think
resort.
the guy now is. I think he washed out, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ray was so good to me. He was on the podcast, so good to us in Red Rocks, and he had all those cars, and he met Aaron here, and blah 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 blah. But Red Rocks was a connector a lot for that too, as well. like Kyle, I told you the story with Kyle. He just came in. I mean, I knew the M&M story, and I was telling the Kyle story. The best one I heard from Dale Hart Jr. was about the M&Ms. You heard it too.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
I don't think so.
So they knocked on the door, and they're like, Amy says, Kyle Busch. And Dale goes, wonder what he wants. And, this is according to how I heard it on the thing, so it could be different. But they opened the door, and he brought him M&Ms and with hearts on it. And it was
It's around
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day, yeah.
And it was a gift from him, and he always changed his perception of him. And no shit, that guy would bring me. Back in the day, it was just different here because everybody lived here. They didn't make as much money, and they lived in Birkdale. But he would bring me M&Ms all the time, and that was a big thing because the sponsors would all eat here.
Right.
Mike Waltrip would bring Napa. They would bring Aaron's a lot. That guy there, the president
Yep.
Aaron's, and I would meet these people.
Right.
Or Rusty would always never took it up, but invite me on his helicopter. I didn't know what a helicopter was back in the day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So Rusty, I think, always had the first helicopter plane.
If you'd have had a flying couch, you'd have been there.
Yeah, no shit.
He would have known what that was.
Well, it's a cloud couch, so maybe
It's almost the same.
right. Right. So if you haven't been on my couch, you guys have sat on my couch. Don't say
I have never been to your house. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll tell you right now, I am never sitting on your couch. So let's just be clear.
Yeah.
I'll stand in the corner before I ever sit on the couch in your house.
No comment.
Well, we got so now what are you doing? Like the other story I have too, I think with you is always the motocross because what's his
Yeah.
name? Always when Gibbs had the motocross,
Coy.
Josh Grant,
James Stewart.
James Stewart, they would eat here.
Justin Barsha.
Yeah.
They would all,
Bam, Bam.
and they lived in Nelson McKay's house over there.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget across from Doug Yates, and they finally, I think they kicked him out. Like Nelson had a lot of money, I don't give a shit, but they finally I went to a party there one time with Josh Grant. Those motorcycle guys could do it. They break a leg and they race in 2 weeks. Like you're like, what happened? I broke my leg. Have you seen? What about that? In motocross, have you ever seen a fight in motocross? I've seen it in NASCAR. Have you ever seen a fight?
Oh yeah. Vince Freezy.
Oh, one of JGR guys.
Yeah. At one point in time, Vince. I like Vince. He's a good guy. He's extremely aggressive, and he just goes for it. And in doing so, a lot of times that leads to contact. And on a motorcycle, it's a lot harder to just rub and move on by a guy. Like you can door a guy in NASCAR and not really get locked up, and you can kind of move off and continue on down the road and hurt feelings more than you hurt yourself or the car. In motocross, supercross, if you come together, you can get a foot peg stuck in a wheel, you can get a handlebar stuck somewhere. It's a little harder at times to break free. So when Vince would make contact with the guys, a lot of times Vince and the other guy are both going down, and then those hurt feelings roll over into.
So I was in the suite with Coy and Coach.
Yeah.
When the incident happened with Vince Freeze and Weston Pike.
That's the big one.
Yeah. And
Did they fight? They got out and
Yeah.
fight? They
So
really boxed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it
Vince
wouldn't-
and Weston get together, and Weston was a tough kid. He was a tough kid.
big fella.
Big fella, very fit guy, and just a tough guy. And Vince, on that night, picked on the wrong guy. And Weston let him know. When they got together and they got down, Weston got up and just used him up.
Yeah.
Used him as a punching bag.
lot of punches were thrown
Live
and,
on TV.
Yeah.
Have you ever been punched?
Have I been punched?
Have anyone punched you?
Maybe like elementary school, got in a couple fights, but
You ever been punched?
I did a boxing tournament once.
yes.
Okay. Were you in it?
I was in it, yeah.
Did you get knocked out?
Were
or did
you like-
win?
No, I didn't get knocked. It was for our football team in high school to raise money for the football team. At the end of the season, we did a boxing tournament. You had to pick one of your teammates to go up against somebody about the same size, and
I don't think they could do that nowadays.
probably not. Probably not. But what I remember was this would have been my sophomore year.
Were you at El Camino or
No, I was
Christian
at
Brothers?
Jesuit.
Okay. I knew it was one of those.
Yeah. So it was going into my junior year. So I was at the end of my sophomore season of high school football. I was probably in the best shape I was ever going to be in my entire life, right? and we did 3 1-minute rounds,
Oh,
which
shit.
is equal to 1 pro round, which is 3 minutes, right? I just remember the next day waking up just dying. I couldn't lift my arms, your whole body, because you're using muscles in ways you didn't use them with before. So it was a heck of an experience, but not something I wanted to continue doing.
Yeah, I got hit once at a restaurant. I used to run the Hooters, and the guy got mad at me, and somehow I swear to God, he was 6'5", I think, and I'm all but 6'2", and and the guy turned around for some reason and just
I need to see what measuring unit you're using.
It's that drink you're having over there to the left, but he knocked me out. Like, he punched me.
Oh, wow.
And he really hit me hard, like in the mouth here, and I kind of was on the ground, and then all the girls came out. I was happy for
He's
that.
It all worked out.
Yeah, it worked out that way. But God darn, I've never been hit harder in my life. That was the only time I've ever been hit and fought. There was another time in high school, but that was different. I hit on the guy's girlfriend at the time, but that was back in the day.
Weird. I never would have expected such a story.
Yeah, just can't see that happening.
I
Ron.
wish I had Instagram when I was in high school or college. Or
No, you
whatever.
No, you don't. Yeah, no, you're way better off not having
Snapchat.
that.
I mean, now I didn't have. I'd call them on the phone. I mean, people don't know. So when you got it, okay, how about this one? But Ralph, your first job, okay, you had that. Did you have a pager? How did they get a hold of you? Did they call you on the phone or?
Actual job?
Yeah.
No, you're not broadcasting.
No,
but like-
broadcasting.
my first broadcasting job?
Yeah.
I lied my way into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Well, I've been doing all this PA announcing in Northern California, and I knew they were going to have an IMSA race, big sports car race, down in Del Mar, California. So I cold called the guy that was in charge of it. I said, hey, do you need anybody on your PA crew down there? He says, no. He goes, we got all our PA people. He says, but I do need a pit reporter on our live ESPN television show. He goes, have you ever done TV before? So I saw the door crack open. I went, oh, yeah, absolutely. I've done a ton of TV.
Almost every day.
Almost every day. Can't believe you haven't seen me. And I immediately started telling him everything I knew about IMSA to get away from talking about TV. And I had done IMSA on PA a handful of times, so I knew the series very well. And he said, all right. He goes, well, let me think about it. I'll call you back. So I thought, well, he's not going to call me back. He'll find out that I haven't done any TV, and that'll be that. Calls me back the next day. He goes, okay, I'll hire you. And I'm going, oh, great, trying to be all cool. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, holy crap, I'm going to be live on ESPN. I've never been on TV a day in my life, and I got to figure this all out now in a matter of a couple of months. So he calls back the next day, and he goes, I've hired your colleague on pit road. I went, great, who's that? He goes, Chris Economaki.
Oh, wow.
I went, oh,
remember him.
Jesus.
God,
Now I'm really cooked.
That's a.
Because Economaki was the greatest broadcaster in motorsports history, right? So I'm thinking, I'll never survive this. Economaki will chew me up and spit me out. And Chris was the kind that if you made a mistake on the air, he would call it out. So I thought, man, this is going to go bad. So I went down there, did the race, went fine, everything went good, and it started to snowball from there.
Wow. I mean,
But if you don't,
Chris, did he do?
Got to take those chances.
Did he do Wide World of Sports?
yeah.
Right, with Howard Cosell?
Oh, yeah. Chris Economaki talked a lot like this.
There you go.
And, of course, he used to own National Speed Sport News, which I now own as Speed Sport.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Economaki, you Wide World of Sports? Remember that?
Oh, yeah. No, I used to sit around waiting for hopefully a motorcycle race would come on TV.
Carlsbad.
You have no idea if it's going to be on or not. It's only on probably, 3 times a year back then or
we
whatever.
Get Carlsbad back then. Or
Did you have black and white TV or color TV?
I remember black and white.
I would say color.
Did you have an antenna?
During that time.
Antenna?
Of course. We had like 4
Yeah,
stations.
they didn't have cable. I don't know if I had cable. I just
That was
asked.
before cable. So
I remember
Is
when
that when you met your wife or not? Like Chris? Is that
a few
before?
year later. Yes.
You're on my couch then too. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I have never been to your
Emma.
house.
I remember when
or am I going?
I would come. Right now I'd come. There's free liquor. I mean, now we do Camus as the house wine at Red Rock. I mean, at my house.
Right.
You come over, you get a glass. I try to. Then I lock all the doors. You can't get out. You're in.
I got to tell you, I like coming over here better. I get whatever this is that Miss Renee brought me.
A Woodford Reserve,
I'll take that.
vanilla.
And the Brent Calamari.
What's the?
Yeah.
What's your favorite item at Red Rocks?
Oh, I've always liked the chicken pasta.
The
Is
Cajun
that,
chicken pasta.
Jenny's.
Yeah, no, the Jenny Durst cake. No, I think
Yeah.
it's Nate Conley now, okay, or the chicken penny.
Chicken penne.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
Jenny's,
Jenny
right?
Durst. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. That's a good one. We've had that on.
Somebody else
forever.
I've known forever and a day. 'Cause
She's
I knew her
great.
dad from sprint car racing forever.
Oh, he's great. They ate here the other night.
I knew Jenny when she was just a little kid.
the class people. Right
Oh,
there.
great people, and she's done an amazing job with her jet.
I need to
fitness
get her on the
place.
podcast. We really need to.
We
get
do,
her on.
yeah.
we
She's
have her.
great.
That's one we probably should show up there.
I
That would
know
be
he
fun over
always
there.
wants me to go. Right now, I'm a little bit, I mean, it's just a little harder to get, but maybe.
Well, you
someday.
want to go up there. You should go now before NFL training camps
Yeah.
start because you never know who's going to be walking around.
You know
the
what?
place.
Your mind doesn't think like mine think. I was thinking you're going to say that about Pilates class.
That's what Max said the other day. Hey,
Well, I'm
great
thinking-
time for you to come. We got a lot of Pilates
Right, you're thinking
classes.
about the NFL stars. I'm thinking about, well, maybe they have a
Here's
class
the
with all the women
difference.
in.
Here's the difference, Ron. I've been married 24 years. You've got a couch.
Right, I
See,
get it, yeah.
It's a whole different mindset.
So you
Very
uh,
different.
It's a very different mindset.
We always ask.
I remember having a couch.
You,
but
we
times
always
have
ask
changed.
this question. I just want to know, when you were a kid, what did you get for lunch? Like, did you get, like, I got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a Twinkie, or a Suzy Q, and an apple.
Yeah.
What
Suzy
did you
Q's are
get?
good. Yeah, I would get homemade sandwiches. My mom was a great cook. She always made a great lunchbox for me. I did carry a lunchbox. I wasn't a bagger.
Now, what was your lunchbox?
What
was
did I
it?
have on it?
No, what was on? Yeah, what was it? Like, I had Freakies. They don't believe me, but I had Freakies on mine. That was a cartoon show. So.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't.
No,
My mother
not,
doesn't
not
either.
one person has ever like, oh yeah, that was also my
Freakies.
favorite.
Oh, yeah, I had that too. No,
It's like 5,000 if you have a Freaky box now. But I swear, my mother goes, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Mom, why would I know Freakies if I didn't have it?" Like,
We
I'm
need to do lots of research to find
Yeah.
that it actually
It's my
existed.
Christmas gift.
I
But
would
go
have
ahead.
had like Hot Wheels or
So you took the actual lunchbox.
Evil
when I was a
Knievel,
little
maybe.
kid, little kid.
Right.
Like early elementary.
Did your
school.
mother? Would you ever get the bag? Your mother ever write anything on it?
I never was a bad guy. It was always,
The box.
the box when I was little kid. And we're talking
Right.
like first, second grade kind of stuff.
Yeah, I always had. I mean, did you go lunch like at the school? You got food there, right?
In high school,
Yeah.
we did. Yeah.
And when I got it in jail, it was pretty good. yeah.
3 squares a day
Yeah.
and a whole different type of couch.
Renee and I were there the other day. Yeah, we have fun at the jail. But so where are you traveling next? What's your next opportunity?
Well,
or
so
what
I'm
are you
doing a lot of IHRA stuff, that International Hot Rod Association that we were talking about. And within the IHRA, we have drag racing, drag boats, offshore power boats, personal watercraft, stock car series, and truck and tractor pull series, and F1 power boats. And I'm doing F1 power boats in the stock car series.
What's an F1? What is that?
An F1 power boat?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's got an outboard motor on it. They go hella fast, but their turning radius is incredible. I mean, they just pivot on a dime, and they race on lakes and rivers.
They used to
It's
come to
closed.
Sacramento, actually.
They did the water
Yeah,
race. Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah, I used to do that, and they have an enclosed capsule for the cockpit.
Do they have? I mean, those are the ones every once in a while I'll see on Instagram. Where it's a big wreck. They're
Well,
flat.
Fly through the air.
you're thinking probably of the unlimited hydroplanes. So think of a hydroplane shrunk down. It has the big sponsons out front. That would be kind of the shape of an F1 power boat. Only F1 boats are much shorter.
Who's your best like, out of all the athletes you ever did? Who was the best besides NASCAR, and all that? But maybe in other sports, who was the best athlete you ever seen?
That I ever worked with,
Like
interviewed
James
with?
Stewart, he was good in.
James was fastest man on the planet,
Yeah.
as I used to call him, and he was. He was an absolutely incredible motocross, supercross.
But you
racer.
got to have balls to do that, right? I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
you're going
the greatest athlete I was ever around as a working member of the media would have been Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
And I interviewed MJ a bunch of times. Covered the NBA Finals while he was in it. I covered the NBA Finals for Japanese television.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had been doing the Mickey Thompson Stadium off-road racing series for ESPN. And they would air them live on ESPN, and then they would cut them down and ship them to Japan, and they would air over there on NHK, which is like their ABC. And when the NBA Finals are coming up in '93, was the Bulls and the Suns, Michael versus Charles. And they were looking for an American producer and an American talent to go to all the games and do feature stories around the games about what life
So you
is
went
like.
to the game? You got to go to the
I went to
game?
all the games.
Wow.
And did feature stories about what life was like in these American cities around these NBA finals. So everybody on the Japanese crew for NHK was from Japan and spoke Japanese, except for me and Mark, the producer. We were the only two English guys on the crew. So they would invite us out to dinner and stuff, and we'd be sitting at the end of the table just talking to ourselves because we were the only two that understood English. Everybody else was full-blown Japanese, you know.
You know,
But it was great.
Scott Burrell, he played, he was my room. Hey, shout out Scott Burrell, but when I lived with him, Dave Wingate and them,
Yeah.
he backed up, once he got traded to the Bulls, he backed up Michael Jordan. That was kind of a cool story. But, you know, as far as, you know, it's funny because we got to get, another one, Luke May was telling me that in China, when he played for Japan or China,
Right.
how they would say red and blue for plays.
Yeah.
So, did you interview anybody, or they have a translator, or what?
Well, everybody I was interviewing was NBA guys from over here. So,
Okay.
you know, but the funny thing with that was we go to one of the Suns practice sessions as they, you know, have these media scrums, right? And Charles is sitting there and everybody is surrounding Charles. And there's Dan Patrick and Stephen A. Smith and all the guys that are usually there covering, you know, NBA final stuff for all the major networks. And me, and I'm on the ground. Now, I'm not doing X's and O's, right? That's the other guys are doing all that. But these guys, Patrick and Stephen A., of course, they're wanting to know, how are you going to stop Michael? You know, what kind of defenses are you going to use and all this kind of stuff. So my question was going to be about Dan Marley's restaurant that had opened up across the street from the stadium, because I'm supposed to do these colorful stories, right? Marley's playing for the Suns. So I'm literally on my knees, sticking up through the crowd. I'm like, you know, coming up through Dan Patrick's legs with my microphone like this to Charles Barkley, waiting for my turn. And I finally get a chance. I go, Charles, I go, Ralph Sheheen, NHK, Japanese television. What's your favorite thing on Dan Marley's menu? And he just looks at me and he goes, Japanese television. Yeah, right. And I'm like, no, dude, seriously, we're Japanese. I promise we're going to be in every one of these games. He goes, he's like, are you sure? I said, yeah, yeah. He goes, okay. And then he got into it and he started telling me. But once they saw us around and realized we were for real and we had the NHK mic flag, they were like, okay.
You didn't just work for the restaurant?
Yeah, yeah. They're like, I'm not sure how this is happening, but okay, we get it.
You're like a little kid in the stands, you know what I mean? They ask a question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was pretty funny. You know, you got all these guys asking legit questions, and I'm, what's on Marley's menu, you know?
Have you ever been like me, like, a lot of people get starstruck when they get on my show, but like, I would say, is there anybody that you,
Do they get starstruck when they get on the couch?
yeah, yeah.
After a couple of drinks, right?
I'll get Renee to get a picture of me on the couch.
No, that's
The
not
clown.
starstruck. That's passed
No,
out.
is there anybody that you know, I always want to know, like, it's funny, the bartender we have.
Colin.
What's the, you know, why am I thinking? The girl. I love her. Ethan, and we have, but she always asks me questions. So this is a good question. I'm going to tell her I asked. What, out of all the people you interviewed, who were you starstruck? Chloe. So is there anybody you go, oh, God, I'm going to ask them a question? Or no, you don't care who they are.
No.
You're doing your job.
No, I don't get starstruck over guys now because we're all of the same age group or they're younger kind of thing,
Right.
right? So it would have been guys that were older than me when I first got into the sport because they were my heroes back then, right? So the one who would have been the most, if you were going to put in a starstruck category, would have been Mario Andretti, because Mario is my ultimate hero from day one when I went to my very first race when I was 5 years old at the old Fairgrounds Mile in Sacramento, and Mario was in it. So when I went to Mario's house and did a big sit-down interview with him for the first time, that was pretty damn awesome. And it wasn't necessarily a starstruck kind of deal
Right, but
so
you
much
want-
as it was like I can't believe I dreamt of getting into this business, and here I am interviewing my hero at his house. So it was kind of
That's cool.
awesome moment. You know, there was always I was never intimidated by Earnhardt, but you knew you had to bring your A game because he would chew you up if you didn't. And so it was I always took that as a good challenge, and I always looked forward to it. And I remember being on a lot of broadcasts when the producer would say, okay, we need somebody to interview Earnhardt today. Who's going to do it? And a lot of the guys would be kind of hesitant. I always stuck my hand up right away because I was like, it's Dale Earnhardt. Everybody's going to want to hear what Dale Earnhardt has to say. I want to do that interview because I'm now tied to that answer that everybody's going to want to hear. So I knew it was a good opportunity to be seen. And, if you got it right, you'd be credited with doing a good job.
I think the big thing, I think here, talking about, I thought I had a great experience, not starstruck, but I had, what's his name in track house? God, why
Justin?
am I- Yeah, why am I- I
Justin
must be
Marks?
Let me have another drink, hold
Yeah.
on.
Well, I'm not going to let you drink alone, so here's to
Yeah,
you, brother.
cheers. But, Justin Marks, he brought in Shane Van Ginsberg,
Yeah.
Connor Zillich, Helio, and Ross Chastain. But for some reason, when I met Helio, I was like, wow, this is like, I mean, Indy, like when you grew up in Pittsburgh, was different. That was this.
There's
you
nothing
loved-
like it.
Right. So, and then, but Helio was eating here, and I thought I was a little not starstruck, but I wish, I don't know what, I should have to get a picture, and I didn't. But it's funny you say that about Mario Andretti or somebody you meet. Like, I meet a lot of people here, so.
Yeah.
But he was one guy that I really wanted to talk to, really. And then John Calipari, who, the Kentucky coach and all that, he came in. He's from Pittsburgh. I ended up talking to him because of Nate. Thank you, shout out to Nate Connolly. And he brought him in, and I got to talk to him. And it was a highlight of my, like, so I don't know. I think in your sport, that's what's great, being an announcer, you get to see all kind. What you're doing is so great. I mean, and I know you're into that. Like you're kind of into a lot of those sports that I've never been into, probably because of where you're from, right? Kind of.
No, absolutely nothing happens in Sacramento.
Okay. No couches. nothing.
No.
got X Games.
I got to get you a cloud couch. I think you'll be fine.
They got X Games out there this year.
Well, they were supposed to have it last year, and then it got
but
canceled.
it's
And
this year.
The what?
And then now
X Games.
it's on the fence from what I even hear. So,
Well, they're playing the baseball at Oakland A's.
They're trying
well, the A's,
They're
A's.
trying to get a major league team there, but I don't think
I
they're
don't.
gonna-
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ball flies there. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a that ballpark. Mikey tells me about it, but yeah, I it's like we. Used to,
It's a decent little
and
ballpark.
I don't know if it's anything like Oakland, but I remember flying into Oakland because it was a lot cheaper for Denny.
God,
We would
nothing's
fly
like
into
Oakland.
Oakland to go to
Nothing's
San
like
Francisco, and Oakland was
Yeah.
a little rough there.
No, AJ Foyt would have been that way. King would have been that way. Richard Petty. And again, it wasn't starstruck. It was a feeling of this is really cool. Getting to do.
MJ, I see him now. It's just like, he'll say Red Rocks Ron. So a lot of times I'm not a starstruck. I think because I live with basketball players, so I've never really been.
Right.
I've always been around that. Like I played, horse. I wish we had phones back then. Larry Johnson and Alonzo
Yeah.
Mourning. We'd play horses at practice. I would go over there and shoot with them. I mean, like it was nothing. Like it would be like, oh, there's Ron and Del Curry, and
Yeah. Well, I first got to know Michael through
great guy.
basketball, interviewing him in basketball, because I used to cover the Kings when I was going to school at Chico State. And I remember,
Chico State.
I remember the
Wow.
first time. Yeah.
They need to be on my couch too. I'm all
Yeah.
those Chicos.
Yeah, well, then, okay. That's a whole nother podcast. That's another show, another time.
Well, that's where
I
you're
might
married.
need to be divorced before we get into that conversation.
Chico, let's go.
Or that conversation could lead to me getting divorced.
I feel like I want to go to Chico.
Either way.
We need to get a picture of Chico on there. I never heard the school.
Oh,
God.
number one party school in the nation when I was there.
What the number one?
Number one party school
Oh,
in the
yeah,
nation,
they
courtesy
all-
of Playboy magazine.
Yeah, okay. yeah.
1987.
We'll look it up.
Oh no, it's true.
Wait do you see what our school mascot was?
Who named it? Like who thinks of in the
Chico,
morning?
California.
No, you
It's
wake
his
up in the
actual
morning,
city.
you go and name like college Chico. Like how does
Well,
that
that's the
work?
city that
That's
it,
the
that was
city.
city that it's in. So
Oh, okay. I
they
was
didn't
wondering.
they didn't
All
have
right.
to be that creative.
Yeah, it's not like
God damn, who's gonna name it College Chico? Let's go. Yeah, let's go to Chico's.
Yeah.
Maybe I name a restaurant Chico's.
There you go. It could be the party restaurant.
I don't even know what
So-
we're talking about.
But then Michael got involved in motorcycle road racing, and I spent a lot of time with him over there because I was calling all the road racing stuff. So the great thing about Michael, and you see it now with his NASCAR stuff, is he understands his position and why everybody wants to hear from him and talk to him, and that he's an ambassador for that particular sport at that time. Yeah. And he does a great job of doing that.
Well, I can tell you, he's got a small group. I've obviously met him through Denny, and we've known him. I've known, Fred Whitfield, who was his best buddy and all that, and
Yeah.
they've always been good. But I think it's hard to be that big. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can't imagine what it's like.
I kind of know a
Well,
little bit. but
you're
it's
stepping
different.
line.
Yeah.
I mean, you're within At 6'2", I mean, you can see that
Yeah.
up there.
I think, but I think it would be cool to do what you're doing in a lot of different sports. So you have to, like, even when you're prepping for it. I mean, I don't know how you get prep for it. Like, all of a sudden you're doing the.
Right.
At least if you're in NASCAR, you know every week there's a story.
And then
You
the
know
next week
story.
you're doing lawnmower races. You know?
Right.
Well, here's the thing, Ron. The good news is I'm a huge, very passionate fan of all forms of motorsport. So if I wasn't doing this job, I would still be reading and watching and studying up on this stuff just because I have a passion for it, right? So it's a lot easier to maintain that information, to learn it and absorb it if you have an interest in it. If I had to know all this about architecture, I wouldn't be able to do it because I don't care about it.
Right.
But
Passion.
because I love racing of all kinds, it's easy for me to go, oh, I want to read this magazine about motocross today because I really like motocross. Tomorrow I'll read a magazine about drag racing, and I'm reading this book about stock cars in the 70s or whatever it is. I'm doing all that all at the same time, and I do that 24/7, 365 days out of the year because you can't just start tomorrow when you have a stock car race this week and you haven't done a stock car race for 2 months. You've got to be on it all the time. And I don't just do races. Like I did the Mika motorcycle auction back in February of this year. We had 2,000 motorcycles cross the block. 2,000 motorcycles of all types and eras. And I had to know something about every single one of them to talk about it on TV,
Except for the Chad Reed bike.
which wasn't real.
What's that? What is that?
Oh, no. It was
But I knew that.
somewhat misrepresented, but kind of wasn't. Yeah.
So
It was quite the
there
debacle.
was a there
Renee
was
and I and don't
there
know
was
what
a
you're talking
dirt
about.
bike that came across the block,
Oh shit.
and it was said to be a former Chad Reed race bike. And whenever something like that comes up, you got to check the provenance, especially if it's a race bike. Did this guy really race this bike? And I called Chad, and I said, hey, this is what I'm looking at. Is this real? He goes, I don't think so. He goes, it's not. He goes, I've been looking at that. He goes, is this there? Is that there? And we confirmed. He goes, no, that's not it. He goes, might have been a practice bike or something. He goes, but I never raced that motorcycle. So I told the crew, I said, stay away from this bike. It's not real. As far as Chad having actually raced it.
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Started quite the debacle. But
Yeah, that's you guys talking about something I have no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
But that's where that homework comes in. If you don't
We
do
have
the
another
homework,
drink on that one?
then- Okay, I'm right there with you. Here we go.
Oh, this beer is so good.
Yeah, so is that
Yeah.
Woodford.
it's empty.
And Alani for tonight. Be nice. Gonna watch the Dutton Ranch on my couch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's the deal.
Yeah, I
It's
think
Tuesday
so.
nights.
Big night planned.
Huh?
I said big night planned. I mean,
You
now
ever
that,
watch that? You ever watch Netflix?
I haven't. Do I watch Netflix?
At all? I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do, right?
yeah.
Right, yeah.
I haven't watched Dutton Ranch. I watched Yellowstone.
Dutton Ranch. I watched them all just because.
I got to get to Dutton. I haven't. Gotten there
which
yet.
is on Paramount, not Netflix. But go ahead.
Well, whatever it's on. Hey, they're all on the same to me. I mean, when you're on the couch, it doesn't matter. You just push the button.
When you go into the NASCAR Hall of Fame, because obviously with 62 wins now and having connected all these people together, it's inevitable that you're going in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I'm not sure what category. I don't know if there was a connector category. There should be,
There should be a
obviously.
restaurant owner for sure.
Well,
No doubt.
maybe there needs to be a Red Rocks inside the lobby
Yeah,
of
they
the Hall
wanted
of
me
Fame.
to do that. Yeah.
See?
The Buffalo Wild Wings needs to go away and just put Red Rocks right there.
Well, I just had a picture of me up on the wall.
Well, so what I'm getting at is when you do go into the Hall of Fame, does the couch go in?
yeah.
Like, is there?
That's
you know
that's
how-
a different Hall of Fame.
No, listen. That couch has obviously been a connector. So when you go into the Hall of Fame, you know they have, and you go in that big rotunda room there where they have
Yeah,
all
I know,
the
yeah,
different
yeah.
display areas.
Yeah,
and
but
your
the
display,
couch,
is the
the
couch going to
cloud.
be
Yeah.
encased in glass?
Yeah.
Or will it just
I'm
kind
gonna
of
put
like
Christy and Brent on it.
be off on the
Jeez.
side and pay an extra $5? You can sit
Get a
on
bottle
the
of
couch.
Camus. Yeah.
You get a picture of yourself sitting on the couch.
Yeah. You get a Camus. You get a. Good thing about me, I can cook too. Oh, wow.
You know what we can do, Ron?
No shit.
Good
nobody.
Lord. What kind of music do you listen to?
I think Ashley's Furniture is calling for a sponsorship.
Hey,
Ralph,
we-
Winston Kelly calling in right now.
Winston, right? Yeah, it's probably Winston Kelly from the Hall of Fame. Can we get like a statue of you? You know how when you go to like a park in front of a museum and
Yes.
they have like the statue of the local, you know,
Right.
like it might be Thomas Edison sitting there like this, and you can kind of
Ron, right
sit
next to
down
Thomas
next to-
Edison. Yes,
Yeah, they can have Ron on the couch in the Hall of Fame there, you know, and you can sit down and
just lounging.
yeah,
yeah,
You can just
Yeah.
Would
I
he be in
could-
pajamas?
I can see it. I don't know.
sweatsuit.
Sweatsuit.
Yeah, no
Sweatsuit.
doubt.
Sweatsuit.
I don't know what happened to green. Like today, I literally
Not
came
green,
down for a
obviously. It'd
meeting.
be black.
Right.
The first time I ever wore black. I mean, I don't know, Chrissy didn't say anything, so I must not. Sure, you say, hey, I like that shirt on you. She
I'm
didn't say
glad I
that.
brought out a different vibe in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought out your
Sure
green
did.
side.
Yeah. I'm
didn't
just
even
glad
know
I
you
have
had
my
a green
glasses.
side.
I got my table talk hat.
Oh
I got
boy.
my table talk tumbler, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
you
excited
got
about that.
So look for.
He'll sign it before you leave.
Make sure you look for Denny Bros on Ty Gibbs's car. I mean, not Ty,
On Denny's.
on Reddick's car.
Oh, on Reddick's car. Yes.
And then.
I still think you need to maybe see about a change of putting the
Faces.
faces on.
Yeah,
there.
we
I like
tried. I had an idea, but look.
Got vetoed.
I'm just part of the show now. I'm just kind of the back. I'm kind of the connector instead of the connected.
Right.
Like you're
Right.
the connection. Like you used to be in the middle of the picture, and I'm going to see you.
You're on the end, so
in
then
LA,
they just cut you
know,
out.
Clive Stanton, he's an actor. He did Vikings. And all
Yeah.
that. He said we were in a picture, and Jordan said, "Why did I get cut out of the picture, Jordan Fish?" I'm like, because you were on the end. I mean, you got to be in the middle. And he said, always put your arm around somebody, so they can't really crop you out.
Now, where did you learn that technique?
From Clive.
From Clive. He's the
yeah.
one that taught you that?
Yeah. So if you see a picture at home with us, I'm in the middle of the picture.
You're always in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the middle.
Yeah.
It all depends. Now-
Connector's got to be in the middle.
Yeah, but right now with some of my groups, I think I'm at the end of the connect.
Right.
As you know, a lot of things when you get older, like you've been married for 24 years. How many kids?
2, Lucas and Olivia.
And how old are they?
23 and 20.
Right. So you go through that stage of like it's different stages. A lot of my like Greg Fernelli, I love that guy, but he's got Luco in his swim class, and he's doing soccer, and Taylor's doing this. He's riding around the whole country. You always have to have a driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah,
driver.
you're an Uber for sure.
Yeah,
Running
so-
people everywhere.
But look for me on look for us on Denny
Yeah, we'll
Bros.
post some pictures on the Table Talk account of the little bet and stuff like that. So, and the sticker. Where's it going to be on the car?
I don't.
Like next to his name up at the top?
I think it's gonna be on the back. I mean, obviously, it's gonna be I don't
Rear
know.
deck lid.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how you get. Obviously, this.
We'll
is
have to
got-
see if Denny
I
can
don't-
get a picture with the front of his car.
It
like
is.
hitting,
Denny does
hitting
own the
it.
team, so I'm sure he can do
Kinda put it
everything.
where he
wrong.
wants, yeah.
Right, but no, I'm sure it's fun. Like when we used to get on the cart, it was always wherever it was open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wherever you can. But I'm sure there's more to it than just that.
Probably.
But if you own the team, it's like being in Red Rocks. You want to get on the menu, it's easy.
Right.
A lot of times we switch menu items though.
It's true.
Kind of how you get kicked off, or I'm mad at you. Like right now, I really
Or
am.
like I'm mad at you.
Not like I am getting I'm getting here the people on the wall, right? I'm getting
Right.
ready. I had a dream last night that now I'm going to start doing people to sit at the booth. I'm going to start putting pictures on it. So
I haven't made it on the booth yet.
I'm not even on the menu, let alone the wall.
You were on the menu for a week or two,
Congratulations.
but
I got that going for me.
you should not say you want to get on the couch.
No, no, I'm never getting on the couch.
I'm never going to rounds again.
Free. Couch free.
Well, we had a good show.
We did.
Kind of got here at 10. Really rough day for me so far, but I
But you wore the
battled through
green.
it.
You did.
Didn't really have notes except we brought everything up.
Yeah, we were, well, I mean, pretty basic show, pretty unorganized.
Pretty much how it goes each
Yeah, I
and
know.
every week, right?
Pretty much.
So you've been watching Dutton Ranch when you're on the couch. Have you ever watched Speed Sport 1 while you're on the couch?
Yeah, I watched Motorboat. Motorboats. I'm sorry.
I don't doubt that
Well-
at all.
I never. You know what? FS9 is it? What channel is it on?
Speed Sport 1 is on we have 200 million active users a month right now. You can catch us on Amazon Prime, Plex, Roku channel, Fubo, Stir. If you have any of those platforms, we're on there. 100%
Where are
free.
you on next? Where can I see you next?
Well, we're on 24/7 on there. You'll see me next weekend with IHRA Stock Car Racing from Tennessee.
Is that Brett Underwood? That's IHR, right?
No, Brett's not there anymore. He's moved on to other stuff, but he was. Yes.
Brett Underwood's
Brett's a good guy.
Yeah, he
Known
comes in
Brett
a
for a
lot.
long time.
Yeah, like he he always brought who passed away. What's the guy on the race team passed away cancer?
Oh, Schumacher.
Yeah,
Don.
Schumacher, man, what a great guy.
Yeah, they were good friends, very good
He
friends.
brought me in, and all the time, and brought me to my first really in the. That's another one that I need to put on the booth. Wow, that made me just think. He brought me right behind the Indy cars, and then the fuel got in my nose, and
You mean the dragsters?
the dragsters. Wow, I
Yeah,
mean
the
that
nitro.
that feeling of that. I don't know how they do it. That feeling of that power.
Yeah, that's one of the races for sure you don't get the feeling
It's better
compared
live
to
than
being
on
there.
TV.
Yeah.
They're trying to do it where you get DraftKings, where I was talking to Marcus, I think, where not DraftKings, but they were going to do like almost like a casino where you pick 1, 2, 3, 4, like almost like a horse race. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't know if it's hard in North Carolina, but I don't know if they do it with some of the tracks. I thought it was a good idea for people like me that are junkies to bet whether you can run around the building in 5 seconds. You know what I mean? So I thought going there would
We
drag more
we
people.
we actually last week got approval on setting up our own bets. So like when we do the golf tournaments and stuff like that, people live can actually bet on like who's like, so you can make up your own to where who's the closest to the pin out of the foursome.
Right.
You can instantly bet it, and it could be on the screen and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so it's coming next for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that-
sports gambling has changed dramatically over the years, hasn't it? I mean, you think back to how the NFL, for example, was so against any kind of gambling being
Yeah.
involved around the league, and now they embrace it wholeheartedly. Everything from putting a team in Las Vegas, which never thought that would
Never
happen,
was going to happen before.
to fantasy football, and now they've got gambling basically live with every play.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny is Sean Casmer, and this is could be our last story, but Casmer, we love it. He was betting the Oscars, right?
Oh, right.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Then he bet
Betting
that,
the Oscars.
that
Yes.
Ben Wu Lee would finish top 20. That didn't win.
No.
Then he bet. He said, "I guarantee he's." I'm like, dude, he's 20
If
to
you're,
1.
if you're betting the Oscars,
Right.
you
And then he-
probably need to see
No,
somebody about
it was
Yeah.
no. Listen, it got worse. When
It got worse.
Ping pong and like I'm like, what? Where do you bet ping pong at? He goes to DraftKings or whatever. What? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
He lost every one of them.
He did. That day he had a very bad day.
But he's great because and when I say this, he's literally betting $1 or $5. It's not a lot of money. Like he's got like, what do you got? He goes, I got a $3 parlay on. I'm like, $3 parlay. I'm like,
$3
Yeah.
parlay on the latest pickleball tournament going on.
yeah, I mean, like, text me.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, gambling has changed. Everything.
A lot,
And
yeah.
Oh, immensely.
But it's sad for the players who are getting in trouble for it. Like Terry Rozier. with
Well,
Miami.
employees getting in trouble because there's so many different things you can bet on. From what was the latest one that you could bet on who was the most searched person, and a person from Google got in trouble because they obviously knew the results
Yeah, well,
of
that-
who it was going to be, and they won over $1 million.
Kalshi's doing
yeah.
that now with the war and everything else. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's kind of.
Well, and they're trying to use that to sway voting to where parties are buying in to where it sways a percentage. So the perception is that one side is already winning,
Winning
over
over the
another.
other, yeah.
I
yeah.
didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah.
That wow.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Bass,
and that's where AI is going to come into. Listen, I've already had, Brent, I don't know if have you ever had any issues with AI with what you do yet?
No.
So
no.
I actually have had a couple things happen to me with AI that really kind of raised an eyebrow. One, I was doing a flat track motorcycle race, and the producer was late in getting the tease put together, which is that opening segment. A little different than the type of teasing you usually do, Ron, but
Yeah.
that's a couch story for later.
yeah.
But with this, it was something I had to voice, and the guy didn't have time for me to voice it. So he went to AI, took my voice, and literally did the tease through AI with my voice without me giving
Permission.
permission.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh boy, I see where that's going, and that's not good, right? The other one is there's a group on Instagram. These guys tend to have fun with Supercross and stuff. Did you see this?
I've
When they-
seen, yeah, Ricky.
it was that actual moment that we were talking about earlier with Vince Freeze and
Right.
Weston Pike getting together, and they went and they took AI and they said, what would Ralph, Ricky, and Jeff really want to say
Right.
during this moment? And they took our voices and AI'd them and we were swearing and cursing and all the stuff that we would have, guys in a locker room kind of thing would say. And at first I was horrified, thinking, oh my God, I would never say that. And I'm thinking, kids are watching this. And I thought, you know what? It's really kind of funny. And I thought, I got to let this just go.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I get what the guy was trying to do. He's not trying to be mean to me or anything like that. So I let that go. But I thought, man, that just goes to show you with AI as a tool, if somebody wants to take you and put your voice, your image, your likeness into a bad situation, they can really mess things up real fast. So think about an election, for example. If you wanted to put somebody who's a candidate into a bad situation to impact the outcome, it's very easy to do with AI.
It's already happening with the LA mayor race.
Yeah, I
There's
can't
already
wait.
just
Probably.
it's constantly.
I can't wait to see
just-
that today.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
going to
it's gonna
be.
be
I'm going to
Wow.
watch it on my couch.
I will not be over.
Yeah, tell me how that goes. Jesus.
Well, we had another good show,
We did.
85,
God.
90.
Hey, thanks for having me.
yeah, it was
Seriously,
good.
I appreciate you inviting me down. It's great. Thanks for the tumbler.
Fun day.
Renee, thank you for the cocktail.
Yeah.
Lovely.
We'll give you another one. We give 5. I got
Well, I got
5
to
in
drive.
there.
But
I got 5 in there. Okay, you got anything
Yeah.
else?
No. Show 81 in the books. Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it.
yeah, man, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Of
course.
See y'all later. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. LA bound, here I come. Get ready. I'll be there with Snoopy Dogg. Snoop Dogg. Me and
Ron, it's another fantastic evening at Red Rocks. I love coming to your restaurant. The friendly service, the atmosphere, this place has it all.
Well, we have something for everyone, Mike. We can have a steak, you can have pasta, we have seafood, we have a kids menu. We have everything you need.
Well, thanks, Ron. Really appreciate you.
Red Rocks Cafe, newly renovated, your complete dining experience.
Hey, Austin.
Hey guys, mind if I sit with you?
Absolutely.
What should I do with this?
Put it over there by my two.